Hi, this is Claire for the Hinterland YouTube channel. I'm here with our founder, Mike Oman. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
So I'm just going to ask you a few questions about Hinterland, as we're very, very close.
Yep.
The festival is tomorrow, Thursday the 30th and May the 1st. So Mike, why did you come up with the idea for Hinterland Festival?
Sheer madness. I basically felt that there was an opportunity to provide a platform for local Scottish artists to showcase their abilities to not only a local but a national audience.
And you come from like a dance background, like mostly because you DJ and things as well, or would you say you're just like a general music lover?
Well, I'm a general music fan. I mean, obviously, from my previous jobs, you have to appreciate all kinds of music. But yeah, dance music's obviously been important. But I think especially nowadays though, the whole music scene has become so crossover that it's, certain acts like Hot Chip, for example, started out as a dance act, but now they're almost credited as being an indie act. So I don't think it really makes a difference nowadays.
And you live in London now. How long have you been living in London?
5 years.
So how does it feel to come back to Glasgow? And why did you decide to do it in Glasgow? Because you could have easily done it in London or any other city as well.
Yeah, I think events like Hinterland are quite commonplace in London and surrounding areas. But there's nothing really like this up in Glasgow. There used to be the Triptych Festival, which everyone who's a music fan knows. But obviously they finished last year, and I think it had become it'd been on the scene long enough that people knew that it was going to be, it would happen every year. So I think there's a lot of people miss the fact that it wasn't around, and I think it was a good opportunity for us to bring in something different. And not only that, but Triptych was great, but they didn't always have a lot of local musicians involved, and I think that was a shame considering the wealth of talent that's in Glasgow and Edinburgh and every city basically in Scotland.
And has Glasgow been quite receptive to Hinterland? How do you feel like the press and the punters have kind of reacted towards the festival as we draw nearer?
I think everyone's been really receptive. I think the only thing that's been the sort of hurdle is just trying to explain to everyone how the concept works, because I think most people, if they don't know about these kind of events, are just really used to buying one ticket, you go to one venue and you see 2 or 3 bands and that's it. So when you say to them that you buy one ticket and it lets you into 15 venues to see 100 bands, they're not quite sure how does that work, and it's trying to explain to them that it's an all access event. So I think that's been the only real issue, and once you've explained that to people and sort of get across the sort of concept of the whole event, then everyone's been really positive and they think it sounds like a good fun event basically.
And we've got things like Stag and Dagger, festivals like that coming up here obviously as well. And then there's also, they had the Suckhill Crawl a year ago or something like that as well. So how do we differ? How does Hinterland differ from those kind of festivals? Because they have a similar vibe, but what would you say to draw folk to Hinterland instead?
Well, I think that obviously there's always a common thread between all of them. But I think the main thing that separates us is, number one, the amount of artists that you can see, and number two, really the sort of the quality as well, because we've not just got the biggest bands everywhere. We're trying to showcase the guys from Scotland who are really creating a buzz, and they're quite different as well, but also bringing across people like Jeffrey Lewis, Metronomy as well, who maybe don't get to play up in Glasgow, Simeon Mobile Disco, who are obviously they're really good on the dance scene, but they they maybe not involved, they maybe do festivals but nothing that's too inner city. So it's I think we've tried to sort of handpick the best of different scenes, both local and nationally, and all put it together over the course of 2 days.
And you've got quite a lot of art events happening during the day as well, and the 7 dish so download and the club nights and stuff. So I guess you get quite a lot for your money at the end up. I think it's really good for Glasgow.
Yeah, I think if you think about the fact that if you go maybe on a normal Friday night to see a sort of mid-level profile band, you might pay £10, £12 to go and see them. And for really, a couple of drinks more, you can go and see, another 5-6 bands plus all the art stuff plus free music downloads as well. So I think it's good value for money, but also it's all about a bit of an experience as well, because you're hopefully going to come across music that you've never experienced before, and that's why we've tried to sort of make the lineup and the schedule slightly staggered and varied, so that people can hopefully stumble across things that they would never have normally listened to or looked at in the past.
And I know you're going to be really busy over the next few days, running around trying to make sure everyone's happy. Yeah. And I'm sure they will be. But who do you plan on trying to see at least a couple of songs of?
I'd really like to see The Invisible, and I'd really like to see Dan Black, just because I think there's so many. The whole female pop star thing is quite popular at the moment, whereas I think he's somebody who might break through, and I think it'd be quite cool to say that we've seen him in a smaller place as well. And bands like We Were Promised Jetpacks, because they're local and it looks like things are really sort of picking up for them as well. To be honest, it's a lot of the smaller bands, because I think it'd just be quite exciting to see what happens with them in 6 to 12 months' time.
And obviously, you are probably thinking now about the year ahead, perhaps, and maybe what could happen. So am I. I'm probably thinking about maybe, what's going to happen post-Hinterland. Do you plan to make this a bit of a staple in Glasgow?
I think there's no reason why we can't do it every year. And I think obviously as the years go on, it's hopefully going to create more and more of a reputation and become hopefully a sort of tastemaker event for the local sort of music scene as well. And I think that it's something that Glasgow, it's surprising that it doesn't have that already, because the output from the whole country, as it is quite influential. So I don't see any reason why it shouldn't happen every year.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for speaking to the Hinterland YouTube channel. This is Mike Oman and I'm Claire, and you can get your tickets from www.hinterlandfestival.com/tickets, and you can also get them at the Arches, and you can get them at Ticketmaster Scotland. You can check out the website for details. Hope to see you there. Thanks, bye.